Thanks for joining us here at JCurve Solutions for a quick chat with our CIO, Ms. Katrina Doing. Katrina, thank you for joining me.
Pleasure, Nigel.
Of course, I'm Nigel, one of the business development managers here at JCurve Solutions. Katrina, you head up a team of people that span, I believe, 4 countries. They're often on-site, in meetings, working from home, in different time zones. How important is having the right technology platform for your sanity?
Having up-to-date data is imperative in being able to make effective business decisions. And NetSuite underpins our operations and gives me a 360-degree view of that data. I totally rely on my dashboard to provide me with the information I need to make effective decisions, and as you say, it keeps me sane.
Well, I think we can probably finish that up right now. It's enough for everybody to consider NetSuite. Only kidding. So a little bit about JCurve Solutions. We are the most trusted partner or trusted provider of NetSuite globally, with over 600 successful implementations under our belt, which, Katrina, I think you've been a big part in most of them. We are the #1 partner by customer count, not only in Australia, but worldwide. Our customers range in size from single entity startup organizations right through to multi-entity global corporations and all the way through. And you can see from the slide that I'm showing you here, there's a good range of different verticals and different types of customers that we have. Just looking at our agenda, there is a lot to get through. To be honest, Katrina, I have spent multiple hours going through the services presentation to customers of ours, depending on obviously on their complexity. And we're going to be going through this in 20-25 minutes. So I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. If you're interested in considering NetSuite, at the end, I'll put up our contact details. Just get in touch with me. So let's make a start. I'm just going to switch across from this to my NetSuite account. So just give me a sec, Katrina, and we can make a start. So Katrina, you can see my screen fine, I'm hoping?
I can.
Great news. So remember, NetSuite just needs a current internet browser internet connection to work. So you can use it anytime, anywhere, on any device. Mac, PC, it doesn't matter. You'll get 2 updates per year, so you'll always be on the latest version of NetSuite, which takes away all that pain of going through, paying for updates and so forth. It's all included in your license fees. I'm just going to jump into the system real quick. So out of the box, NetSuite will provide you with purpose-built dashboards specific to the services vertical, which contains everything from reminders, which you can see here, shortcuts across the top that you can see here, and metrics that you can see here. Now, this is just your starting point. You will also be able to configure and customize these dashboards to meet any specific needs at your convenience. Now, for example, reminders that you can see over here, they don't just have to be a simple reminder. So I know, Katrina, one of the things that you look is at projects at risk, but if a project is at risk because it's being overrun on time, or a project is at risk because of a budget concern, like it's going over budget, you actually might want that different type of reminder to go to different people within the organization. And so NetSuite is able to really configure and look at where these reminders and who they go to. Metrics, you are able very quickly to drill down on a metric. So you can see here, one of the metrics I've got on this screen is my key performance indicator. If I want to open up, and I'll just open this up in a new tab, if I want to open up these 42 projects, I can do it straight from my dashboard, and I can open that up right there. And then from there, within a couple of clicks, I'm really able to drill straight into a project and see exactly what's going on. So within 2 or 3 clicks, I can be right there. I'll just jump out of that quickly. The other thing that's really handy is with your shortcuts. These shortcuts don't just have to be to reports. We give you over 100 reports, I think almost 200 reports out of the box. But they don't have to just be the reports. We can also link that to outside sources, outside websites and so forth for you as well. Up the top, you can see we've got a global search bar. That will allow you to search for anything from purchase orders to sales orders, invoices and so forth. Makes it really easy to find any kind of information that you're looking for in the system. Now, this solution is also One World enabled, which will allow you to scale your business by providing complete multi-subsidiary management and support for all of your Australian subsidiaries. This can be expanded internationally as well, as I know we have done recently, with the purchase of additional country codes. So that's just a quick overview of just generic NetSuite. But Katrina, you come to work in the morning, you open up your NetSuite account. Can you walk me through what you're looking at?
So one of the main things I'm looking at is what projects are at risk or that have overrun. And I can easily drill down and have a look at those by just going into the system. As Nigel mentioned, you can have a different definition of what a project is at risk for you. But in that view that Nigel just showed you, I'm looking at things that should have been finished but haven't been. Sorry, Nigel.
That's okay, I was too quick for you. Sorry, go on, Katrina.
One of the other things I like to look at is all of my open projects. So we've quick check of what all my projects are, which we can see there. So some important things there that jump out at you are what's my actual work or actual work compared to budget, and how am I going with regards to percentage completion and the actual end date.
So I notice you've got a complete percentage here. How do you use that when you're comparing that to the end date? Is that what concerns you when you...
Yeah, it's not might concern me if I'm only 30% complete and I'm supposed to finish this tomorrow.
I can imagine that would.
But you can also have that pre-set up, so you've got all your projects sitting there on your dashboard, easily visible.
So I noticed one of the other things that you've got here is opportunities to close. Now that's a sales, opportunities to close as a sales thing. So me as one of the sales guys in the company, why are you looking at things that I haven't even closed yet?
What I like to see is the sales position of what opportunities may be about to close. So I'm getting a visibility of what's closing in the next week, or I can filter that to see what data I want to see. But what I'm trying to understand here is what resources I might need coming up. So I really like to stay on top of this so that we make sure that we can resource it, and we can actually set some expectations with the prospects to say, yes, if you do start, we should be able to deliver it by a certain date. We also like to have that sort of information in our minds to make the immediate resource allocations that we need to make.
So one of the common questions Katrina is always asking me at the end, especially towards the end of every month, is how complex is one of the projects or the sales opportunities that we've got going. So I guess that leads you to the utilisation part. Is that why you have your utilisation here? I can see that one of the things that you're looking at is how overutilised or how utilised each one of your consultants are.
Yeah, utilisation is key to any service delivery business. So you need to be tracking who is essentially overworked and who really is a little bit light on, and then look at your resource balancing. Is there anything you can do to more evenly spread those resources?
Right. So I think in the essence of us saving some time, what I might do now is just jump into a project. Now, one of the things that I know that you use quite a lot are templates for your projects. How has that made your life easier?
So what's really good about the templates is we can set up the underlying structure that supports our methodology for the different types of projects that we do deliver. It saves a lot of time, also instills discipline, so people have somewhere to start, and they don't have to start from scratch every time.
Right. So I suppose it just speeds up that process. You go in there because all your processes follow a similar sort of framework. You just put that framework in, and then it's just about really coming straight into a project. So this is the actual template when I open one of them up. This is an ERP project that we often do. And can you tell me sort of the things that you're sort of seeing here? And
so what you can see there is you can see the work breakdown structure or the task breakdown structure of our standard tasks. So as I mentioned, that gives us a starting point, and then we can just tailor that for individual projects and then look at allocating some resources.
So once you've done this, really the only thing left to do is resource,
Exactly.
resource the project. So just moving into the resource allocation page. Now, this is I don't know, it looks quite busy and quite amazing to me, and you're a whole lot smarter than I am, Katrina, so you want to run us through what you're sort of seeing here?
Yeah, so this is one of the views available to you from your resource allocation perspective, but gives you great visibility of where your resources are currently overworked, underutilised, etc. So it gives us that visibility to be able to see how can we fit this project into our current program.
So I notice you've got, for instance, Abigail Khan here. She looks like she is just a little bit too utilised here. Do you find yourself coming in and moving some of these tasks around so that people aren't as utilised at certain times?
Yes, obviously. So you need to be able to deliver these projects to customer expectations. So it's very easy to be able to see what if situations, if I move this, what would happen.
Now, NetSuite has a lot of complexity around the different modules. We do everything from manufacturing, services, we do, inventory management, all those different types of things. So resourcing allocations, I notice we've got the new resource allocation button here, which allows you to go and find those resources. Can you tell me the types of things that you're looking for when we do this?
So what we're looking for when we're looking for resources is, well, obviously, are they available, but also do they have the necessary skill sets that we're after? So this becomes very powerful and we can see our options in allocating resources.
So I've just grabbed someone, in this particular instance, I've said I need someone that's got ERP knowledge and payroll knowledge. So I'm just going to submit that search and let's see if we've got anyone that can do that. And it ends up coming up with, now you can select these resources. Tell me some of the things that you are mostly looking at here.
So what you're looking at here is it's also, obviously, you've got to have your data in, but you can be looking at the skill set score. So when we're putting skill sets in the system, you can put them in as advanced, proficient, etc., or whatever categories you like. So you can then see what sort of match or what sort of experience do some of these resources have. You might know that this is going to be a very complicated implementation and you're looking for the best person that you can find that could do that job for you.
If you've got outside resources as well, or you're concerned about the pay rate and so forth, do you use this labour cost at all?
Yeah, so it's important to be able to then see, obviously your more experienced resources are possibly going to be your more expensive ones, so you can also make decisions on the type of resource that you assign.
So that's why my pay rate's so high. I don't get chosen for these things. One of the other things I'm able to do here is I can come across, and if I want to actually further define this list and I want to go, look, I want someone who's got advanced knowledge, for instance, in the ERP section, I can just click on the advanced there. So obviously in the background there's a matrix or something that you've put and you've listed people's skill sets and so forth so that can work. So it makes it really easy to go and find, who you're looking for. So it's a great feature and very time saving. I'll just jump out of that. I think probably the people watching would really like us to jump into an actual project dashboard, because I know these project dashboards contain a lot of information and that's probably something that you look at quite a lot, or maybe the project managers look at quite a lot. But you just want us to walk us through some of the things that you really like about this page.
So some of the things we like to put on our project dashboards are our key performance indicators, and that's up to you. What you might want to put on there, and even within the organisation we have different people that have different performance indicators that they're tracking, so that can be totally tailored. Of course you've got the all-important project profitability, which any organisation wants to see. So what we're showing here is what's the actual cost. We're adding in what the committed cost is, which is based on your planned time to get the total cost. So we're doing that from a cost and a revenue perspective, and then can be at a glance you're seeing your profit and your margins.
Mm-hmm. Now the Gantt chart down the bottom here.
Yeah, so what you can also see is the task breakdown, obviously in a typical grid style, or of course you've also got the Gantt chart, which is very useful and very visible.
Excellent. So probably some of the things that I know, we've touched a little bit on automation and so forth, automating our resources or automating the template that we use. What are some of the things that you like to automate when you're looking at, because we do a lot of projects, so I'm just wondering what are some of the things that you focus on with automation?
So automations are very powerful. We utilise automations for everything from welcome emails to new customers, new project notifications, customer satisfaction surveys at various points of the life cycle, and they continue through, and also overrun alerts. But having the automation, we find, not only saves on time, it also helps us anticipate issues. So the data is pushed to you, you don't always have to pull it. And it also means, importantly, that nothing is going to fall through those cracks.
Yeah, it's really important that, for things that are simple that we can do, that the computers can actually do for us. If you can get that doing, and it just makes everything a whole lot smoother. Now, some of the things that we also get asked a lot about, particularly in my role, is people are asking a lot about, the way they can bill their customers. So I know that we do milestone billing. We also can do time and material and fixed bid. Is there anything else that you think that is important that we can sort of touch on there, just to let the guys know?
Well, as you touched on, there are a number of billing methods available. So you've got your fixed bid, your time and materials, your milestone partial billing. One other thing that we find particularly useful is the use of memorised transactions for billing.
Yeah.
Which enables us, it's very powerful for subscription-based billing of products and services.
Right. Now, earlier I sort of mentioned that we can spend, the services platform is quite large, and we can spend a lot of time going through this. We can talk about job costing, we can talk about resource allocation, we can talk about just project management and so forth. So I just ask the folks out there who want to get further information on this, please just book in with us and we can sort of walk through it. So if you do want to find any information about us, here's our information that you can get to us on. Obviously the phone number down the bottom, 9467 9200, will come straight through, but you can also email us at info@jcurve.com.au. Guys, I look forward to seeing any questions that we haven't got to, or anything that comes through later. And if you are wanting to get a real in-depth look at how NetSuite services can help your business, get in touch and I'll be out to come and see you. Thanks for your time, guys.